Soundkillers Radio powered by Noize. If this is your first time listening, you can stay up to date by adding us on your favorite RSS feed, iTunes, YouTube, and SoundCloud. You can also follow us on all social media platforms at the Soundkillers. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 2 of Soundkillers Radio podcast. Once again, we'd like to introduce Mont, Chris,
hello,
and Ron in the building. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming again. The topics we're going to talk about today is Kendrick Lamar's new album, Damn, Joey Badass, All-American Badass, J.I.D, The Never Story, Playboi Carti, Blackbear Digital, Druglord.
Digital Drug.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with Kendrick. We'd like to actually congratulate Kendrick on having every record on his album hit the 100 charts of Billboard. That's actually pretty impressive.
Is that the first time you've done that?
Yeah, so that's pretty impressive. So congratulations to you, Kendrick, on that accomplishment.
Well deserved.
You know, and so we'll go ahead and get started with Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah, Chris, what'd you think, man? Lay it on me, man.
You know, last podcast or last episode, you know, Chris didn't really feel Kendrick too much.
He made it clear that Kendrick was an overrated rapper.
You know,
overrated. Kendrick was overrated.
Yeah,
Kendrick Lamar at that.
Yeah,
No. Yeah, I don't like him. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of King Kendrick, and I'm not really a big fan of that moniker either because it's not deserved.
So you don't think TDE's doing their thing?
Nah, they're doing their thing, right? Okay. But I mean, like, not to go up on like a tangent or anything, but like, like when we examine like real rap and like, like that where that argument comes from, right? I mean, like King Kendrick, like, he got that moniker really early, right?
But how about this? He didn't give himself that name. West Coast artists gave him that name. Literally, like on stage, Game, Corrupt, Dog Pound, Snoop Dogg on stage, they crowned him king of the West Coast. This you could go on YouTube and pull this shit up. So he didn't. So I respect it because he is not self-proclaimed. They gave him that. This is a real thing. So
yeah, I agree. I actually did. I've seen that same video.
And he was like, it was like a humble. You know what I'm talking about? You seen it? It's like maybe like 4 or 5 years ago.
But what do you think of the album?
Yeah, so I mean, like there was some cool parts to it.
Cool parts?
Yeah.
What parts are you referring to?
But I mean, like if you want to read my notes, like it's pretty critical. I mean, like at one point I compared him to Tory Lanez. I felt like I was listening to Tory Lanez track. Which track is that?
Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah. I'm talking about Element.
Okay.
Yeah, I said in my notes I have that I feel like I'm listening to Tory Lanez on the hook. And that the slowdown, makes it very Drake-ish, right? And there's a lot of things that's very interesting. I mean, like Drake's like his biggest competitor, and here he is, kind of taking Drake's formula, if you will, with the Rihanna single, Loyalty, right? I thought that was a pretty weak single, even though I know people love that. I mean, like he doesn't have the chemistry with Rihanna that Drake does. He didn't come off as sharp as Drizzy does when he's talking about Rihanna. There just wasn't that magic. And I felt that track was.
I think the Loyalty track is good. I don't think they're targeting, having the same chemistry as Drake and Rihanna, who probably have a little bit more synergy because they actually have had
from the relations. Right. Yeah, of course.
But I thought Damn was for lack of a better way of saying it, a damn good album. I thought, the Tory Lanez comparison, the only sort of validation I'll give to that is it was a little bit more of like a scattered project. Like you got so many different types of Kendrick on one project versus like Pimp a Butterfly, which was very themed. So it was pretty consistent. But other than that, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Tory Lanez, so I'll kind of leave the comparison there. But I mean, you didn't like DNA?
I mean, DNA, like it was cool.
DNA's like one of the hardest tracks I've heard in a minute.
I wasn't big on the track switch. I wasn't a fan of that. Feel was a good track. Feel caught my attention.
Feel's a great song.
That really caught my attention when that came on. But it's more of the same. I mean, like when we look at Kendrick, when I listen to Kendrick, I think about how he's talking about the same things that Nas has been talking about for the past 20 years, right?
Well, who's talking about anything brand new ever anymore?
Well, no, I'm not criticizing him for that, right?
Okay.
I'm not criticizing him for the fact that he's talking about the same thing Nas is talking about, right? That's just like how he grew up. I mean, like he's still in that reporter mode, but
look, I mean, yeah, tracks like Duckworth where he told a phenomenal story about Top Dog and his dad and their meeting, and then how that sort of manifested into sort of Kendrick being in the position that he's in, and the story's cool, and it's one that he's had for a while, right. And he didn't kind of just lay on us, early in his career. He's 4 albums in, and then he finally gives us that story. I thought that was dope. Again, I disagree with you on Loyalty. I thought Love was a great track, minus the fact that I guess his name's Zachary. Zachary sounds a little too Dream-esque to me. Like he sounds like the Dream on that song, but other than that, I thought it was a great song. I think
you really liked Love.
I did.
See,
that was a slow record, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have that as his most Drake-ish record yet.
Okay, but it's because it's a track about love and he's Kendrick Lamar.
No, it's about the flow and like how he, like his cadence. Like when he's doing these love tracks and the love track and like with Loyalty, I don't see him distinguishing himself as an artist and matching well with the pairing of the content and the pairing of Rihanna. What I just see is him trying to assimilate into that commercial space and become a more, I don't want to say popular.
Why would a man with such significant amounts of success?
Because he's not number one.
Because he's not what?
Because he's not number one.
To you.
He's not though. If we're gonna look at success, he's not the most successful rapper, right?
He didn't have to be literally number one to be a significant contender.
Right.
I think culturally he's number one. Right now.
I guess it depends on like
Drake
culture.
is commercially number one, but as far as he has that Jay-Z power now where if Kendrick was to say boo, the world stops. So culturally he's number one.
It's the truth. People anticipated this damn album more than I believe. I would say More Life.
Yeah.
I think you're working very hard to take what the man has earned away from him.
I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm just not going to give him that top spot.
Everyone is now saying he is.
The reviews that he's been getting, even like papers like The Guardian is giving him like a 9.2 for this album.
Look, I'll be the first. I mean? I'll be the first to say that I really don't care what the media says when they come to shit.
Like one thing I miss about hip hop, going to what you're saying, is before we had like the internet shit, Phil will always mean more than what you read on a sheet of paper. That's hip hop.
It is well documented that Chris was saying on the last podcast, referencing how good Kodak Black was.
I said that I like him, and I pointed out reasons why. But that's saying I like him is far from praise.
The definition of praise.
Saying you like somebody is praise.
Yes. You're praising what they do. To compliment what they do.
You prefer Kodak over Kendrick. That's what you did say.
Yeah, and a lot of it is production based. When I talked about Kodak, I talk about the fact that there was a lot of production on there.
Okay, so now you really more or less like the producers he works with, and not so much Kodak Black.
No, it always starts with production. It always starts with the track, no matter who it is. I mean, like I'm a huge M fan, right? But if M comes out on like some lame ass track, like I'm not gonna like it just because it's him.
Yeah, no. I think this generation of young rappers lean way too much on production, and that's why the talent is lacking. I know we're gonna talk about Playboi, Carti, but like that or not, I don't know. But that's his issue. Like the production on his album's solid. His failure to produce as a rapper just makes it a great album to listen to because he's got some, not even a great album to listen to, I take that back, but it just makes it so that his songs are appealing because the producers have done all the heavy lifting.
Yeah,
I mean,
That's what Kodak does.
See,
That's not what
even-
Kendrick Lamar does.
That's
to
the
even
majority
get
of music.
into the actual production, because wish we actually had Sham on this podcast. As a producer, he can weigh in. But I think he had some really good production.
I think Sham's busy
he
watching
Kendrick, you talking about?
pornography. But
So Kendrick?
Mike,
Yeah, Kendrick. He had Dre. He's an executive producer, Top Dog. Just to name a few, Ninth Wonder, The Alchemist, Mike Will made it, of course. He doesn't. He had some producers on this record. So it had no reason.
I like the Humble track. I like the beat. It reminded me of
Humble's grown on me, but
the thing I like about the beat is that it reminded me of
The beat is
some
nasty.
ruthless shit. Like it reminded me of like 89, 88 NWA. It like an Easy E beat. You know what I mean? It was raw. It was hella different. That's one thing I like about Mike Well is that every once in a while he'll throw like some random shit and it'll stick.
Yeah,
I can respect that.
That's his signature.
Yeah.
Though. He can switch it up. I mean, we actually I know we keep referring about the last podcast, but you said you didn't like Mike Will on some of his productions and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, there's a times like that I feel like he's really busy.
I'm just damn.
It was just saying.
There's times like Mike Will is a little busy, right? Like I think he killed like Humble. That shit
Humble. I think
is
Humble's
ridiculous to me.
And not to cut you, the thing I like about Humble is that the shit was simple.
Yeah.
Simple tracks are a lot of times the hardest things to do. You know what I mean? Because it's like, how do you make something that's so simple? How do you make something that's so simple and it's hitting?
Right.
You don't have a whole bunch of sounds flying. It's just a drum track, a random sound, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes the simplest shit is the hardest thing to do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I like, again, like you said you liked Feel. I thought Feel was a great track because, there are like certain songs that, when the beat comes on, it almost like changes the atmosphere. Even if you're listening to them on headphones or you're listening to it on speakers, like there's something like the environment changes, and Feel has that element to it, which I love. It reminds me of a song off this Love Plus Time album. But anyway,
the thing I like about going back to the song Love on Kendrick, I won't, a lot of things is kind of vague right now as far as about the album, but the song Love, it reminded me of something Andre 3000 would have done.
I agree.
And it's like we have this affinity for a Dre 3000 album. I think we got it with this Kendrick album.
Right.
I disagree with that.
I see because the singing, the pitch, the vocal pitching, that's straight 3 stacks.
Yeah, but
I see a lot of.
I don't say this to cut down Kendrick, but what Andre 3000 would have done with a song like that, immensely different from what you got from Kendrick. Kendrick was pretty simple on his approach to that record. Andre 3000 has a lyrical ability to put a song together that's just like beyond measure.
A lot of
that's where. Yeah.
I do see the similarities. Like when listening to this album, I was like, man, this is like the closest thing to Andre 3000 album that
we haven't heard for a while either.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I mean, as a producer, Ron, like
I don't know. See, I got to disagree with that. I don't get any Andre from this album.
That's all I got.
You're not gonna get Andre. It's like.
That's what I like the closest thing. It's like
Andre.
I'm not saying like Shine Biggie. It was more like I don't know. It's just
little bit. It will bring you back and remind you like, oh, remember this artist or remember this artist. You know what I mean? I think a lot of different albums. Well, it's basically like when you listen to Miguel or Bruno Mars, hearing the Prince and the Morris Day influence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like you hear like. In all dope artists, you're gonna hear the influences.
Yeah, but I could say like if you just said like a Big Crit album, and that gave you those elements of Outkast.
Where the fuck is Big Crit, yo?
Where in the world is Big Crit?
That dude is tough.
Yeah, but that I can understand the comparison. Again, I don't get the three. I mean, I'll go back and listen to it. I don't get the Outkast.
With Crit, when I hear Crit, I straight up hear Pimp C.
Yeah.
All I hear is Pimp C.
Of course.
There's a lot of Dungeon Family and Crit when you listen to it. I don't hear much of Andre 3000 on the Kendrick album.
Yeah, I don't get. Andre did recently. He did a feature, as he does every once in a while. He just steps out of his cave and like he'll do one feature verse and then bounce. So he was on that December remix by I think it was, their name was like Silk Money or something like that. But his verse is so great. Like Andre is very distinct in. It's almost like expect the unexpected. Yeah. And he comes on the track like that. He literally raps this incredible story about how he met some some officer chick who's like a deputy, and like the cops, the neighbor saw his face, cops came through and killed him, but he got his nut off, and he ends by saying there's gonna be a part 2 because he got his nut off and she's gonna have his kid. It's like it was something like wild like that. But that's how he is. Like I will say that the Duckworth track and that storytelling element, Andre is good for that too, and I can see some comparisons there, but otherwise I don't really get the Outkast comparison.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and rate the album.
I'll give it a 4. It's a dope album.
Oh man,
ain't no fucking classic, but it's a dope album.
Come on, Chris. He's like
it's a 4.
Flabbergasted.
Right.
4 out of 5.
Yeah, he did a 4 out of 5. So we got Ron as a 4 out of 5.
I'll give it a 4. I don't skip any songs. That lyrically is
consistent.
It's consistent. Production wise, it's consistent.
And actually, I want to touch that more with you as well, being a producer yourself. But we'll.
Honestly, man, I don't even remember like each and every nook and cranny.
No, I got you.
But I mean, like listening to it, I wasn't.
You can listen through it. There's a lot of production. You just want to
definitely,
hit fast forward. But all right, so Chris.
I mean, I'm looking at my notes. My notes are reading really, really rough right here.
So you're
let's hear something.
It's like as per my notes.
Let's hear something, Chris.
Referencing something, Chris.
As far as the notes?
Yeah, like something, And this is regarding Kendrick, right?
Yeah.
Pride. Pride made me think of how good Eminem is when I listened to Kendrick's track Pride. I thought of how how good M is, and when it comes to
go-to words right
when it comes to switching the voices, he doesn't really miss a step there, right? Like, that's one of my bigger issues with Kendrick, is that I don't like the way he uses his voice, and I don't feel he's mastered it. So that's part of my notes. Pride is he also sounded like Andre towards the end. I have that in my Pride notes.
There you go.
What that towards the end, like Duckworth end, or towards the end of Pride?
Towards the end of Pride on the final verse, I have in my notes.
I'm gonna revisit that.
I know it wasn't bugging. Brother, my brother.
Yeah. So
rate it.
I like Feel.
Yeah. What's the rating?
Yeah. What from a scale of 1 to 5? What are we looking at?
I mean, I'll give it a 2.5.
Oh, dang. God damn.
Okay. So you could break records. You get.
So is Damn to you like a whack album motherfuckers used to break up their weed and shit on? Is that like the weed album that you break your shit up on?
Nah, because I wouldn't have paid for Kendrick's album in the first place. But,
you know what?
Gee,
I want a physical copy.
I love a physical copy. I just don't have very many CD players.
Yeah, you're not welcome. It's just a have. I'm not gonna play it off of that. I just want to have it.
Stay in the rapper.
Yeah,
stay in the
plastic.
Rapper,
it's gonna be legendary.
I'll rate this album. I'll rate it a 4. I liked Kendrick's his production selections. Kendrick is a lyricist. I will not overstate his ability there. He's not giving you a ton of quotables. So until I feel it, let me also say though, he manages to be able to deliver his lyrics in a way that it only adds value to the song. So it's not that he's not writing well. It's just that he's not giving you sort of that core fundamental hip hop writing. Like if you're looking for punchlines, metaphors, and things of that nature, you're not getting a lot of that. So overall, I'll rate this album a 4.
Okay. And I actually co-sign with you guys too. Is I give it a 4 as well.
Yeah, I got to keep bear in mind that there are projects in his past that I like more than this album. I love Section 80. I love Good Kid, Mad City.
Right. Yeah,
I thought that was closer to a 5 than a 4.
What was that last shit he did? That untitled shit. That was some bullshit.
That quick release.
Nah, I was messing with that. I was messing with some joints on that. I don't really like super introspective Kendrick. That's not really my thing. So like To Pimp a Butterfly wasn't really the type of album I would want to listen to. I know it was hailed as like this fantastic record, but it wasn't for me.
All right. The next album that we're gonna talk about is the Joey Badass All American Badass, which was released on April 7th. Wait, let's calm this down. He had 2 singles, Devastated, that was released last year. A lot of artists are definitely doing that. Last year, May 16th of last year, he actually released Devastated. And January 20th, he released Land of the Free. So we'll go actually get into this album right here. So, come on, Ron.
Why do you feel that way, Ron?
Yeah,
so I'm assuming you're saying it wasn't the most exciting project you've heard.
Joey puts me to sleep, bro.
I mean, he debuted at number 5 on a.
I don't care what the hell he debuted at. That nigga, it was what's that shit you take? No, not no dose. When you need to go to sleep, NyQuil. That nigga is NyQuil, son.
Joey's from Brooklyn, right?
I don't. He could be from my block. That nigga put you to sleep.
He said he could be my first cousin. He put you to sleep.
Word, son. Man, look.
I felt he. And I'm not a big Joey fan, so don't ask me to reference anything he's previously done. But on this project, he was more melodic, which I really like. I found that there was, I think he made better beat choices.
He did.
Some of the stuff that I've heard in the past.
Yeah.
I'm not for like that 90s. Dry ass boom bap, and he was kind of into that. He was just like pure, just.
And he didn't even know how to do it well.
Right? Yeah, he wasn't. It was bringing nothing to the table really. Yeah. So on this project, though, I felt like he was a little bit more creative. He took more risks. He's obviously listening to people. There's somebody or some people, some team that's coaching him and saying, you need to evolve as an artist.
Yeah.
So I like that. I got to applaud him for that. I do agree with you that. While it's playing, you can tune out. That's always a telltale sign, right? That something is just not resonating with you as the listener. You're just like, oh shoot, is that song still on? Mm-hmm. But when 2 or 3 of his songs from this very project come on, I'm gonna pull up the names in a second. You definitely you pay attention. You're like, okay, this is interesting.
And I feel bad not liking him because the shit he kicks is the shit that we need to hear. It's just that he don't know how to deliver it right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I feel he needs to I don't know who he listens to, but I think Joe needs to go to the Ice Cube song school of songwriting or something. Like as culturally and racially aware as he is, he just needs to make better. I don't know. His voice, and I think he just, even his voice to me is like the run-of-the-mill kid on any block in the northeast of America.
I can't disagree
nothing
with
stands
that.
out about this kid. You know what I mean?
Chris, what he's saying, I'm sorry, Coach. He actually had I was reading an interview, I actually pulled it up again. Mobb Deep influenced him a lot. That's what he was trying to say, and that's what actually influenced Ring the Alarm, the record Ring the Alarm that he has on that.
And it's crazy because like Prodigy has this monotone voice that he mastered though, and Joe, he just I don't going back to what you said about Kendrick not mastering his voice, or was that was
me?
You? Yeah.
That was me.
You know what I mean? Like
I would never say that.
Yeah, sorry. Forgive me, sir. Forgive me, sir. Yeah, I don't know. I really think Joe is just, Johnny Shipes is behind him, right? From Cinematic.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing. I feel this is some. I don't know. I feel the reason why Joe is popping is because of the dude who's in his corner. You know what I'm saying? If he had any other kid managing him, he'd probably never even be who he is. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
I mean
I mean to skip anybody, but on the production side, do you feel that this record did anything for you?
Yeah,
I saw you when we were listening to it earlier.
Say that again.
I saw you when we were listening to it.
I was giving him a fair share.
He was like, yeah, messing with this track right here.
It was I forgot what record it was, but like the first few joints, it was just like it was like joints that didn't make some dude's album in 2001.
Right.
Like it was like I don't know.
I mean, you that's been happening a lot though.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I mean, there's plenty of records out there that didn't.
It was like it's just dry to me. You know what I mean? And one thing I know I'm babbling, but
no, you good.
I'm a little older, so like my.
No,
I know, right?
That's why you were sleeping.
That's why I was asleep. I'm an old nigga in here.
He's dying. It's after 9.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah,
when
but what
is this gonna be over?
Nah, but you know what it is like my generation. We don't give dudes. We don't. If we think you whack, we don't even fuck with your album. We don't fucking listen to you.
Yeah, I mean that's
You know
the
what I mean?
generation.
And I think honestly, that's one thing I miss.
It's not the way. It's not. Nobody's doing battle rap like that no more.
It's not about battle rap.
I'm
it's just.
saying,
It's
like,
just.
nobody's
you know,
doing any. There's no.
You know
street
this?
hustle,
I
there's
think
no
like
signs. There's no
this
street
is
marketing. None of that.
what I think.
It's just not developing organically.
Listen, this shit needs to be more exclusive. Like it's too inclusive.
Yeah.
Everyone is not fucking good.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And niggas need to start calling these motherfuckers out on these whack ass albums, these whack ass songs.
Or even, I mean,
You know what I mean? Like, come on.
like if you want to.
And this is not about Joey. This just is overall. I don't want.
Right.
You know, what I mean? This is not about him.
It's also the radio shows that's putting these artists on
Definitely.
there and allowing them, giving them that platform to do certain things.
The bloggers too.
Right. Even worse, because a lot of them, you know what it is? It's like if they get hot, their homeboy, homegirl is the blockers, and they boost up their thing by
traffic and all
you know
that
what I mean?
shit.
Yeah.
Photographers, all of that trash. But getting a Chris, you had something. to say.
Chris ain't say a damn thing about this album yet.
I actually wanted to echo your sentiments. I think he's taking a lot more risks this time around and the more
my
calculated.
This guy.
Hell is cold right now, folks. We have agreed.
Right. I need a blanket. Hell.
We have agreed.
I don't think that, like.
So you like Joey?
No, I'm not saying I like him. I just think,
okay.
compared to his past bodies of work, this is an improved direction for him.
Right.
I like Kurt Knight. Right. Out of Pro Era, I fuck with Kurt Knight. I think he's a lot nicer than Joey personally, but that's just my taste. And yeah, like I said, this is it's a step in the right direction. It seems, he's getting more professional. It has a better packaging overall, and that's what he needs if he's going to break out from the Pro Era shadow.
Going back to even this article, even with this record, in the article, he definitely stated that he had to take a step back in order to focus on his future, or basically get inspired or get some type of inspiration in order to create something with substance. And that's really his standpoint in this article that he wrote. We're not getting paid by them, so we're not going to talk about who or not, but that I definitely appreciate that.
Let's rate this thing.
So we'll go ahead and rate it. We'll start with. We'll start with
Get this shit over with. Let's make this shit. Move on to the next.
Right.
I mean, I guess I'll have to give it a 2, right?
2.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I can't give him the same as Kendrick Lamar's album just on the strength that Joey Badass is not as nice as Kendrick Lamar, right? So I'll give it a 2.
Okay. He doesn't.
No, he said as nice as
Kendrick is at least better than Joey.
Right. At least. But still not as good as.
This is unheard of. I'll rate this a 2.5. Points for development and growth.
2.2.
Nah, I don't want to go into those increments. they confuse me. I'm old too.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure.
I'll echo the homie. 2.5. The 0.5 for growth and development.
I would say I give it a 2. I give it a 2 because I think the growth was from a 1.5 to a 2. That's where I'm coming with that one.
Cool. What's next?
All right, we're gonna go to J.I.D.
J.I.D.
I like it.
You like it?
I like it.
I
like the homie.
Explain why.
I like the production. I liked his skill set. The thing I like it was one beat on there. I was like, yo, this beat is fucking stupid. It was like, he sampled like some crazy drummer, but had like a trap undertone to it. You know, and whoever did that beat like really showed his ass on it. I like this kid. I want to hear more from him, you know? And it's funny because I got the email from Steph yesterday. I was like, who the fuck is J.I.D? J.I.D? Like, these whack ass young niggas, you know what I mean? But I came in with my ears unbiased, and you know what I mean? I really like this kid. I went and did my little Google search, you know what I mean? I like this kid. I like this kid a lot, yeah.
I mean, that's what it's, honestly, that's what it's really about, is, you know, discovering artists that we wouldn't even normally listen to. And I definitely appreciate even Steph, you know, putting this all together and getting all the content for us to look up and stuff like that. Like, I'll be honest too, I didn't know who J.I.D was. Yeah. You know, I had my ears turned off and I was like, I'm just stick with this.
You know what's fucked up? The fact that when I seen that he was associated with J. Cole, I was like, oh, come on.
Oh, that's what you was mad at?
I was like, oh, this dude. I'm like,
he's not a J. Cole fan.
I'm not a J. Cole fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not a J. Cole fan. As a rapper, as a producer, I think he's dope.
I mean,
man, listen.
Nah, you don't like him as a producer?
No, I think he's cool as a producer.
Yeah, he's cool as a producer.
I think he's a great rapper. I haven't liked his last two albums.
I think he's better as a rapper than a producer.
Yeah,
I agree
with that.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say he can voice. He knows how to voice his musical talent.
Yeah.
So he knows how to combine it too. Basically, he can do whatever he needs to do
for himself. But
for himself. I could do something for someone else.
I could agree with you.
You know what I mean? Or helping someone else put together an album.
Yeah, he may have an ear for talent, because I like J.I.D too. I thought that Never track was amazing, and I was saying earlier that, you know, unfortunately, when I love a song, like, the rest of the album, it needs to stack up against that song. So while I liked his album, I felt Never was the standout track by far to me, because I loved everything about it. I like this flow, I like the production. But yeah, overall, I thought it was a good album. I'm super interested in getting the next project from him.
Right. I would say what actually caught my attention with J.I.D initially was reading the messages and actually reading the title, because the title will tell you a lot to me personally off jump. The Never Ending Story. You know what I mean? To me, that's like he's speaking like lyrical. You know what I mean? Or he's ready about okay, I want to hear what story you got to tell, bro. You know what I mean? So in my opinion, I think titles are definitely, you know, going back to Joey Badass, like he got KKK in his album, and I'm just like, come on, bro, you can do a little better. You know, you could do a little bit better than that.
But in fairness to Joey, the title fits the times.
It does. So I'm not that. But the thing is, but at the at the end of the day,
that's true.
Yeah, I understand. It's freedom of expression. As artists, as creators, do what you do best. And that's how I feel about it. But like I said, when I read that title, you know, because that's how I start gauging stuff. I'll go with this one first. Or actually, what I did with this one, I actually did listen to J.I.D first, because I was like, I know from the reviews and what I've kind of heard from Kendrick, I'm rocking with that. I said, let me go with J.I.D first, and I started rocking. I was like, all right, good. My man is. And then I actually read the same thing what you was talking about, that he's associated with Cole.
Yeah,
and I was like.
You got a lot of Outkast in there too.
Yes.
You think so?
Yeah. I picked up on a lot of Outkast influence on his project for sure.
You might have, to me personally, you might have a few artists, you know, maybe 4 or 5 artists that have those, you know, real influences like Outkast. To me, Andre, like how you were Bone Thugs, Andre 3000.
Shout out to Bone Thugs.
That's my
the
guy.
Greatest humans.
The greatest human. Boom.
Nah, those are my dudes too. You know, those are my dudes. I rock with them. But it's to me, I love music, and if you have lyrical content as a whole, you know, Andre 3000, like we talked about, he can develop a record. He can put he's one of the artists that you know can put together a record. Yeah, hands down. You know, and I think, you know, you'll see a couple other artists that's doing it now, nowadays. So, all right.
You know, it's interesting that everybody here really liked J.I.D's project, and I don't know, maybe there's something wrong with me, but
yes.
I thought that was the most skippable album I've ever heard.
Most skippable?
Wow.
I skipped through every song.
You even like Never?
It's one
Never
of those
been shit, never had shit, never do shit, never out, never do shit.
I think I was just really bored by the time that one got on. You know,
It's like 4. It's like track 4 or something. But listen, you know what? Interestingly enough, J.I.D reminds me of Kendrick. So I'm not entirely surprised that you didn't really feel him. So, all right, let's rate this and move on.
3.5. This is pretty.
3.5.
I'm not gonna give it the same as Kendrick, but it was. I liked for an unknown kid from East Atlanta. I thought homie was dope. I really liked the kid. You know what I mean? And I want to hear more from him.
Cool. I'm gonna go with a 3. A 3. I think he does have a ways to go. And like I said, I wasn't like in love with every single song. Overall, I thought it was a solid project, and I definitely feel he has a listenable type of music. So yeah, 3.
Noize, what do you make of it?
I'm gonna go with a 3 as well. I want to see him definitely develop more as an artist, and I just want to. I'll get a better understanding where he's coming from once he puts out more projects. Just keep putting out content.
Yeah,
Let me
keep it coming.
Yeah, just keep it coming.
Honestly, have never seen him either.
Right, I
don't know what his face looks like, that can either take away or
He looks
add.
like Playboi Carti.
Womp womp.
Nah, I'm dead serious. I went on Spotify. I'm like, they motherfuckers look just alike.
Interesting.
Carti just has some like a burn on his grill. That's about it. He like a grease spot on his face.
You said a grease spot?
Yeah, he got burnt by some fried chicken or something.
Oh man.
Yeesh. Chris.
Props to Joey Badass because you didn't have the worst album I listened to this week. I'm going to give it a 1.5.
1.5. Who's the hater this week?
Yo, Chris
Not
is
for
on
nothing.
fire.
He took the throne of hate.
that is hilarious.
Segment of hate. That's what we're gonna call it. Segment of hate.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. I have to. It's a 1.5. It was a snooze fest. It really was.
More so than Joey?
Yeah. Like,
wow.
I now know what I'm going to be listening to when it's late at night and I can't sleep.
I try to be.
J.I.D
I try to have as much perspective on things as I can. I not that I didn't like this album, but I can see how someone would feel that way
About J.
about J.I.D.
Yeah, wow, that's interesting.
And maybe that's one of the kind of criticism I didn't quite articulate, but like he needs more variety.
There was no variety whatsoever.
Both from a production standpoint and just like his delivery. Yeah. I can understand that. Not that I necessarily agree, but I get it. All right,
It's interesting.
All right, we're gonna actually move on to our last segment of this podcast, which is
who's your favorite Bone Thug? Oh, I love this game.
Yeah, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna go to Bone Thug. We'll actually probably do an off-site, just for you.
Yeah, I'm kind of like.
Just put your iPod.
I'm the Bone Thug stan now, and it's becoming way too apparent.
Right. Yeah, we're definitely we're gonna talk about Playboi Carti on this one. Blackbear Digital Druglord. He said we're done.
You need the Grammy wrap-up music?
Look, we can just rank that album and go home.
Wrap it up.
We can just do the numerical rating. And
just give me your opinion. Being that you feel strongly about that, just give your opinion about about this.
Short and sweet. He is lacking this one element called talent.
Skills.
Right?
Yes.
Right? And you can be, look, I know,
So
I get it.
He needs skills in order to achieve greatness.
Yeah, he just needs to be
That's all he
a
needs.
rapper. He's not even like look, these guys rhyme.
You got it back. You definitely got it back.
They rhyme. There he is. No, these guys definitely rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so they get good beats. And I shame on this era because everything's so goddamn accessible now.
Right.
So they get these good beats, and they just rhyme, right? And they do a particular flow that's gonna make these the listeners go bounce or like rock to it. Cool. But it doesn't mean that you're good at what you do.
Amen.
And these kids, and let me not kind of categorize all of them, but this guy in particular, Playboi Carti, man, I struggled to get halfway through this project. So if you're asking me my rating right now, are we doing 0.5s?
Damn.
Ouch.
Yeah, no, this, come on. You know, I'm tired of giving these albums credit for good production. It's getting out of hand. Because that's not anything that you've done other than say, yes, I like that. And then everything beyond that was just like, that's when the real work came in, and that's where it was non-existent on this project. I'm tired. I'm over that. Yeah, and because you had mentioned last week. Last week you had mentioned like some people have a good ear for beats,
right,
and some people do, but artists have to complement the beat.
Absolutely,
I can pick beats, but I can't rap over them, and I'm cool. I know my lane.
Right.
So anyway, 0.5 on this nonsense, man. It's ridiculous.
Everybody's not a rapper.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I give it a 1 just because I don't want to agree with Mont again. You know, once is enough.
One agreement item like per podcast.
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it a 1 just for that.
That was
you know,
the beginning. Just saying hello was an agreement. Now go ahead. So Chris gave it a 1. Didn't really hear much from you.
I didn't hear. Honestly, my story with Playboi is this. I follow Virgil. I don't know his last name. The
wrestler?
is Playboi Carti's real name Virgil?
Nah, Virgil, the Kanye's guy, the DJ.
Yes,
Off-White.
Yes.
Yeah, the Off-White guy.
The Off-White guy.
He's like a hobbyist DJ. I don't know where he was, but he played this Playboi Carti record. The demographic in this room, I would say, is 16 to 21, 22. Yo, you would think this song was the fucking Benjamins in 2000. Yo, these kids lost their mind. Like Michael, remember when Michael would like stand on stage and all the girls would faint?
Right.
Like, I was like, what the fuck is this? But I just went to Spotify and I can't say anyway. I played the song. I'm like,
Can't say Spotify?
I don't know. I don't know.
Nah, you good.
I don't know how we set up here.
You getting lawsuits.
I don't know how we working here. Yeah, but
Apple.
Red or green?
I played this song and I'm like, I just didn't see it. You know what I mean? That's my story, but I'm giving him like a 0.
Damn! Wow!
I just want to share.
I didn't know that was a thing.
I thought it was a setup for a 2 or something.
Wow! I didn't know that was a thing.
I'm giving him a 0.
I've never heard someone say so much about something they dislike that much.
We need to discuss the rules.
Right. I don't think 0 was even.
I did not see that coming.
It's actually technically a 1 to 5.
1 to 5?
Yeah.
I'll give him a 1. My fault. I didn't want to do.
I didn't even hit 1.
That nigga get a 0.
I got a 0.
That nigga, he gets a 0 B.
Negative
He gets a 0.
Why?
This is terrible.
What's terrible about it?
He is terrible.
Not his.
His existence is terrible.
Sheesh.
Nah, I'm bugging. I'm wilding right now. I don't know dude too well, but
Yeah, he's
Kodak.
like free Kodak Black, and can we do trades?
Everybody's pretty much 1s across the board for this.
zeros and
If I must, yes.
0s and 1s.
Zeros and 1s. 0-1s.
You
Niggas in the
arm.
caught these niggas stuck in the matrix.
Right.
0-1s down the line.
You got to be pretty awful to struggle to hit 1.
Definitely.
It's a struggle 1.
Negative 6.2. Wait. All right. So definitely like to mention the 13th annual Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival is going to be in Brooklyn again this year. DMX is going to be playing. The Lox is going to be playing. Rakim is going to be there. So make sure you go to bkhiphopfestival.com for tickets. It's going to be a dope one again this year. Last year was pretty cool. You know, Rainers had a pretty good show out, sold out. We had the line around the door, outside the gate and stuff like that too. So make sure, we're actually going to talk about the Blackbear digital.
Oh, shoot.
Yeah.
Who?
Yes.
Who?
This is what I've been waiting for.
Blackbear.
Blackbear.
Who is Blackbear?
Blackbear is Matt Musto.
Is that like his government? Or?
Yeah. I first learned about him when he was when he was just a upcoming songwriter.
When he was a black cub?
When he was a cub, coming up on Complex.
Black cub.
Did work with Major, Mike Posner, et cetera.
Oh, okay.
So Blackbear, yeah. I thought Blackbear's digital Druglord project was fire, right?
Fire.
That's if you're into that white people Coachella drug music, which I am.
I see. I don't. You know.
Coachella, that was recently too.
Yeah. You listen to the project. There's the mastering quality could probably be better, right? The girl in Atlanta, I forget her name, but she's Uzi's engineer. She's dope, right? Like I wish I could remember her name right now, but
I think a 10-year-old could.
She definitely like could put a better spin on his project in terms of mastering. But you can see the appeal. For me, it's easy. The strings and the melody, rather simplistic lyrics. It all fits, as far as the demographic they're going after. And if you listen to like the songs like Gorgeous or Moods, right? 2 Moods. Those are some of the standout tracks, but if you're not into guitars and songs about pills and coke and love and things of that nature, then you're probably going to like this project.
I mean, actually talk about the engineering aspect of it. I didn't mean to cut you off, Mont. I know you was about to say something.
No, go ahead, man.
I mean, these mumble rappers, man, you could just add anything. Mm-hmm. Some reverb. It's because they recorded in their bathrooms anyway.
Bums.
You know what I mean? To me, it's you don't really need much anything.
Nah.
There's no engineering
just
talent.
An interface, a mic,
right.
and you could
use
beat.
You could use a 1990
It's terrible.
M-Box with no Phantom. You could use one of those SM58 and record these jokers. No condenser mic needed whatsoever, in my opinion.
Yeah, we're in a bad state of hip hop right now.
I mean,
there's no sugarcoat.
If you want to talk about that, me per se, I believe they need to start a new genre for this.
For the mumble rap?
Yes.
Yeah, but Blackbear's it's not mumble rap.
Nah.
Blackbear is actually
he's just talking about the state of hip hop.
Because I'm saying like the digital Druglord album I thought it was okay. I think it lacks authenticity, and I for one am very much over this emo era of like men rapping about how much they've been hurt. Like
Amen.
A song here and there, but I felt like this project is clearly somebody's heart was broken. This era is very different. Like it ain't the 90s. Like it's cool to be, for lack of a better word, it's cool to be like soft and sensitive, and I can appreciate that. I think it certainly works in certain genres more than others. And when guys start rapping, and Drake kind of did this for us, right? He kind of opened this door and made it cool to just be honest about how your emotions. But I think it's going a step too far.
Is Drake the Ralph Tresvant of?
He might be depending on how you look at it.
The sensitivity.
But I think, like I said,
that might have been over some of y'all heads. And then
what I want to do, I just want to like shed
when niggas play this back, they gonna laugh. Y'all be trust me.
The old heads, I think. But they not up now. They sleeping. But yeah. So that was my overall take on it. Like from a production standpoint, I thought it was pretty good, and I definitely had some sort of like was Double on that. On that project, Double was dope.
Double was really dope.
Do Re Mi even is a pretty strong track. So there were definitely some standout moments, but overall, And
I totally understand what you're saying. Like there is the appeal is definitely for a more effeminate man, right? That's what we see in today's younger.
Precisely. That's why I don't want to go in and like offend anybody.
Yeah, but it's true.
Shout out to all the effeminate men, I guess.
Yeah, it's one thing to be like
these streets.
Understanding, right? That's how they look at it. They appeal to the kids. Like the thing is like with Blackbear and Mike Posner. They collaborated for the Mansions project, which I was pretty fond of as well. Right. That's more of that white people Coachella drug music, really. But
But before we get off Blackbear though, I think my point is that there just wasn't enough balance. I suppose I can take a verse or two or a song or two here and there to be like, babe, yo, call me. You know, like, cause we've been there, but I couldn't process a full album on that.
Yeah, and it appears that he's talking to one particular love interest throughout
he's been hurt.
You know, right. So
who hurt you? Who hurt you?
All right, so we'll actually rate this.
I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
What?
Yeah, I love the Blackbear project.
Yeah. I mean, it's Coachella drug music, so.
I'm honestly somewhere, after kind of listening to it a few times, I'm somewhere around a 3, maybe a 3.5, depending on the song. Yeah. All right. Well, all right. There we go.
Chris
making progress.
Definitely. Y'all sit next to each other again, so that's definitely a good thing.
It's the synergy.
I mean, on my take on it, I think I liked it. I'll probably give it a 3 as well. 2.53. I like all different stuff, so you know it's not particularly. It's what they deliver at the end of the day.
Compare it to something like, because I'm not familiar with them.
Compare it to something.
That's kind of hard.
That's hard. That's hard for me in particular because I don't gravitate to this kind of music.
Right.
Is it hip hop?
It's like it's
pop. It's drug music.
Yeah, and it's
druggish.
It's emotional too at the same time. You know, like it's about pills and coke and you know, like sipping like pro meth and shit like that, right? That's like what life is, you know. So
Coachella,
you know, if you
ever Coachella is definitely it's like South Central back in the day doing a war on drugs type shit. Yeah, it's crazy. Definitely.
But from the addict perspective, I
definitely got to be a drug
addict
to kind of
understand.
I mean, like I said, I don't do drugs.
You sure?
I'm
joking. Don't fuck with you.
I'm old. I can't do drugs. I'll die tomorrow.
Not even that one time in Kentucky?
Nah, I didn't.
Shoot some
drugs? I watched administer drugs into their body. I did not.
Copy that.
When they shot it up into their body with the veins.
That shit was funny.
That type of stuff. Drawstrings. Took
Gotta
a garbage
find that
bag,
good
drawstring,
vein.
and tied themselves up. I was a witness.
Copy that.
But I don't do drugs.
I sometimes do.
Mansions?
Mansions.
And mansions.
We'll talk about mansions real quick. You know, like when we look at mansions, right? They had rich white girls, right?
Every mansion.
You know, that's the lead single. You know, expressing how much time they're wasting chasing rich white girls, which is it's pretty interesting because it's kind of like they're making fun of their own audience, right? You know, their audience is rich white girls, like literally. And you know, here it is. They're saying I'm wasting my time by just chasing you because I can't give you I can't give you anything else that your father gives you, right? Then there's tracks like White Linen, right? You know, where they talk about
with Sci-Hi.
I love Sci-Hi.
Yeah.
Big fan of him.
That dude
big
is
fan of him.
Sci-Hi is underrated, boy.
So underrated.
Damn.
Yep.
Yeah, and I mean, like, he kills that track.
New Africa. Just want to say that. Just want to say it.
I don't know what that means.
That's the Sci-Hi song, New Africa. That's the latest.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm white.
Come on, Chris. It don't matter, bro. You good.
Fine.
Continue.
Pulling the race card.
White Linen was good, and then you know, there was the track Gorgeous, right? You know, and Gorgeous kind of takes me back because I know what it's like to be like, you know,
Gorgeous?
Yeah.
That's your wrestling name.
Mirrors.
Gorgeous Chris.
Damn it.
Killer wrestling.
At Gorgeous Chris.
Gorgeous Chris.
That didn't go as planned. that kind of went a different way.
I fucked up his whole thought process with this.
Nah, you good.
I'll take that. Gorgeous Chris.
Yeah.
That's what
I preferred the Mansions project over the Blackbear project.
You like the parody between Posner's voice and Blackbear's voice?
I didn't really pick up on that. And this is after one listen. I hate reviewing albums after one listen. Everybody should know that about me. But generally, the overall feel of the project just felt a little bit more varied than what I got off the Blackbear project. I was curious though about the cover of the Mansions joint.
And it's very interesting.
Please, enlighten me.
Sure.
What?
So what you see is you'll see Blackbear sitting behind Mike Posner with his hands draped over him, and Posner has his bright green hair, and it kind of looks like he's staring right at you, right? When you look at the cover, it's like Mike Posner staring right into your soul.
I thought these two were in love.
Like Posner, from my understanding, dates both men and women. And they have a very, Blackbear and Posner have a very close relationship, but,
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen.
They support each other.
The
right?
cover is explained.
They support each other, so.
They support each other?
They support each other.
Oh, that's nice.
They were just on the red carpet.
That's some weird shit right there.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That's two dudes?
No, it's not the cover. I'm just saying this is.
That's Mansions.
That's Mansions.
Those two dudes?
Yeah. They were on the red carpet recently for an award, and Blackbear
you said they.
gave
Sorry,
Mike
never mind.
Posner a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, this is.
And I read the comments like under the different YouTube videos. Yep, there it is.
Oh.
And the comments when you look at the videos, it's pretty positive, right? And that's kind of shows where things are going.
It's pretty Roman.
So they were rich already, right? If I'm.
Yeah.
They were rich. Right?
Yeah. Well,
they was loaded.
That's
Blackbear and Posner co-wrote
Roman shit,
Justin
yeah.
Bieber's Boyfriend
That's what
in
it is.
2012.
Okay, that's what I remember seeing.
And Posner was out before that, right? He was around like 2007, 2008 with Cooler Than Me, and it was Mike Posner and the Brain Trust, right? But they've been around for a while doing writing and everything, so they've definitely.
I mean, they actually put the process of that. The genre is actually R&B and soul.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That was pretty interesting in my opinion to that. Whole thing as well.
And I understand it.
But
right?
you can call it what you want, though, right?
I mean, because mumble rap is hip hop.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Everything's got to fall under some umbrella.
That's true. Something.
I'm kind of stuck on this album cover right now. This is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
But like it works for their audience, right? Like you're talking
Roman.
about like
Greek.
But that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, this is like,
this is interesting, man.
Like when you look at the video, right, and like you read the comments.
Let me see that one.
When you read the comments, girls are saying like how it's so cute, like their love and their expression for each other, right? They talk about like how they find like the fact that it's adorable, So it's clearly that their target audience is not for us.
What?
Don't die.
Where that came from?
Shit.
Yeah, that dude is wild, huh?
Welcome to the Soundkillers Radio podcast.
But yeah. I mean, and that's when you make those like comparisons to the whole Coachella environment and sort of era. I get that, and that's why I saw the cover and I actually wasn't like alarmed by it. I was just like, yeah, okay, I know now. I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, it's it's all about freedom of expression,
right?
Like through the music, through the cover, through the art, right?
Free.
Nah, like we said, everything is freedom of expression, freedom of creativity. So,
right. Right.
I give Mansion's project probably a 4 too.
4?
Yeah. I thought.
For play.
Yeah.
Somebody turn his mic off.
I'll put it at a 3.5.
Okay.
Like musically, I felt like they came with it.
Turn his mic off.
It was interesting enough for me to like get 3/4 through the album and accept that I was liking it. You know what I'm saying?
That's dope.
So yeah, not for nothing, but Chris he was promoting this joint.
Yeah,
he was like, new Blackbear's coming out. Then when it came out, he was like, this joint is fire. Actually, my first listen, I was like,
flame under it, next to it, dude.
I put 3 of them.
Okay, I was just making
get
sure.
It right.
Yeah. All right, so we'll actually go through the final thoughts. So that's after rating. We'll just go through the final thoughts of all of these different projects. I mean, what do you think? Overall, out of all these projects, like which one do you feel is definitely the top one out of these few projects that we
I feel like they're way too different to compare against each other, and I think it's unfair sometimes when we do that to musicians and to music as a whole. So, I definitely Damn had its wonderful moments to me. I'm still enjoying that project. In fact, it was sort of like a frustration to have to turn it off and listen to other things because I was really rocking to it. Blackbear, Mansions, those two categorically seem to be kind of in the same lane, and I really enjoyed them. Like I'm actually happy when someone exposes me to a new artist, and I like them. Like I would be checking for them on the next joint. So. Those are some of my final thoughts, and free Kodak Black. I can't say that enough. He's
free Kevin Gates.
Kevin Gates.
Yeah, man.
And lock up Playboi Carti.
Lock
You know,
him up. So
you cops are being lazy. He's done something.
All right, Chris, go ahead with your final thoughts.
Like Mont said, you can't really compare the albums, right? I mean, like we're talking about.
Let's not even really compare it. I actually apologize for that. Just give me your final thoughts of all the different projects.
Okay. Blackbear and Mansions were my favorite projects. Are the ones I played most. Kendrick was my hardest to rate because I have to be the.
Because you're anti-Kendrick.
It's like, and I'm trying not to be too critical. I'm trying to be fair.
I know this is your wrap up, but let me just say for the record, I think you go in with the mindset that you don't like Kendrick. Because even the way, like, how you were rating it, like, if you treated a Kodak Black album the way you rate a Kendrick album, you would probably, from a fundamental standpoint,
rip the Kodak Black album apart.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's different attention spans for each project, right? Like Kendrick is a quality artist who can rap his ass off, right? Like going back to like the Monster freestyle. So going back to the Monster freestyle, right? That was like, like when I heard Kendrick spit on that, I was like, this dude is crazy. But he definitely gets critiqued more through a much stronger lens than other rappers.
That's interesting because that to me puts you in the lane of like being a hater.
I have no problem being a hater.
I'm just saying that when you look at someone and are very deliberate in trying to find the flaws, that is what being a hater is.
I'm not trying to find the flaws in Kendrick. I mean, like, like I said, like I liked Feel, right?
Why does he get held to a different standard than Kodak Black?
Because I'm listening for different reasons. With Kodak Black, I'm listening to just feel good,
ignorance,
get through like the mood.
I'll buy that.
Listen for lyrics.
I'll buy
right.
that.
Like it's just about like like I'll listen to Kodak like when I'm on the train or like when I'm in the crib doing something or whatever. I'm not at home trying to analyze Kodak Black, right? I mean, I don't think anybody ever.
I get that. Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Yeah. So that's your final thoughts, Ron. What are your final thoughts, man, of the projects that you listened?
The projects that I did listen.
Yeah.
Kendrick was solid. I liked it. The other shit, I think we gotta do better.
Right.
I think overall, I think we're stuck in this mediocrity. You know what I mean? I think we stuck in mediocrity and not excelling for excellence. You know what I mean? That we gotta do better overall.
The difference between I think someone like Ron and someone like Chris is Ron is looking at everyone saying the standard should be here, and Chris he's put them in sections. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So he's just said, like, when I listen to Kodak, I'm not going to compare him to a Kendrick, and I'm not going to rate him the same way, because what I'm going to Kodak for, I'm very honest about. I'm not going for lyricism. I'm not going for like all those great qualities that we look for in a Kendrick. But when I go to Kendrick, my standards are higher. Ron's looking at all of them and he's like, yo, this is rap, and if you're gonna rap well. You know what I'm saying? You don't get to say I'm just a vibe guy. So that's just interesting. I think one of my interesting takeaways from our podcast.
Okay,
that's fair. That seems pretty on point.
My input on this is I was actually impressed on J.I.D. He is.
I like.
Yeah, so he like was my standout project out of all of these artists. He definitely was my standout. I've listened to a few of the other guys. I mean, Kendrick. I like Kendrick, so I'm definitely gonna, when I leave, I'm about to go bump him. So J.I.D was definitely my guy. He was my eye opener.
Yeah.
At all these projects, like I was kind of expecting what I got for everybody else. I'm be honest. You know, it's like listening to Joey. I'm like, okay, he did a little bit better.
He did.
You know, but yeah, just gotta turn it. Yeah, there you go. So you know, J.I.D, he definitely. I'm gonna bump him more.
Have you
know what I mean?
have you heard any of his other stuff besides the project, or was this the first time you heard him?
Who, J.I.D?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the first time I heard.
Oh, okay.
I haven't. That's what I mean. Now I have a new artist that I can go discover.
Got it.
So
That's
I'm
pretty
gonna.
cool.
I'm probably gonna for the rest of this week. Knock out some like okay, see what he's research him a little bit more, see what else he got.
Dope.
I didn't like him enough to do that.
But I mean, I do that. I always like it.
I get it.
That's what I'm gonna actually do from here on out. Every time there's somebody that opens my eyes to something, I'm like, let me go check him out and really see. Like I really did research Kodak. I follow Kodak. I was following even his court case, and I was really trying to find something, and I still haven't found it. I'll be honest with you.
Was Kodak the dude who had the ski mask on the Breakfast Club?
That's him.
It was, once I seen,
teeth, it looks like cheese, like you know what I mean. Like he hurt my like he was just hurting me. Like when I just even like come on, bro, what are you doing?
That's what I'm saying.
You know what I mean? I just
like
can't.
Where we at right now, y'all?
Well, it's 2017.
Yo,
man.
did you see?
When you accept them for who they are.
Did you see the designer Nardwuar? I didn't even. But he was
Boy, I
making
don't
those weird,
listen to nothing. Like no interviews from designer until he decides he's gonna speak like a human being.
But the thing is, that's where we're at.
Drugs, shooting up
Between
drugs.
who's the other dude?
So designer, Lord help him. Designer,
Lasagna.
his alter ego.
Lasagna.
Designer is definitely like he's posing. He's posing as an imbecile. Come on, like think about it.
That's his character.
It is a character,
Right,
and
that's
almost
his character.
if you watch the interviews that he's done, he has these moments where he's drifting out of it, and he has to pull himself back in the character. Like
I peeped that. I peeped that.
You know what? Every comment that I see,
autism is a
designer,
serious thing.
it is.
That's it. I'm gonna end there.
The thing is, every comment that I see with designer is always the same. Everyone. He's like, whatever designer's got that he's taking, I want some of it. I probably read that comment more.
It's called acting classes.
Yeah.
He sounds like
I hope it's not
fronting.
drugs. I really hope because he's gonna
No,
die.
he is.
Drugs doesn't do that.
He is.
No, that's not drugs. I know what it looks like to be on drugs. That's
This
not
is
drugs.
Okay, Chris, we got
a
it.
very
You know that you know.
intentional plan to be different.
I mean, he's
To be
you're right, it
different,
is his character.
or to downplay intelligence in a certain demographic.
I think he just switched up to get the money.
You think you're going to a different level.
We need to.
Oh no, I
We
don't
need to go there.
But you know what? One of my frustrations is how he reflects on like black men, black youth,
That's where I'm
youth
going.
in general, Brooklyn, like everything he represents, he poorly represents when he behaves like that.
Right.
Come on, you can speak like you can. When did it become cool to be stupid?
That's what I'm going.
Back in the day, if you were an artist on the label, they would help condition you to get you ready for interviews.
Yeah.
Right.
So you wouldn't go out there
Looking
sounding like
stupid.
that. And
Yeah.
now we got somebody who is very deliberately out there trying to be trying to be received as an
That's what
imbecile.
your publicists are for.
Yeah, but
You know what I
I
mean?
think this is part of his marketing.
So, question:
this is how they brand
Is
him.
there, like how they say, there's a gay agenda? Is there like this agenda to like
stupid?
to have black males out here looking like idiots? Because between designer,
Why you sit back, Chris?
no, join us. Between designer,
I mean, you're
What was the question? Sorry.
is there like this gay, like you know how they said that like there's a gay agenda, right?
Sure. Okay.
He's a stupid black
Is there
man
like an agenda to marginalize black males within this? You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you
Like,
think about it.
no,
they might
because
they could
why-
Be,
If there is, designer is not a representative of that. Let's be clear.
Why isn't he?
Designer is doing what his behavior is simply to get more views, more likes, that sort of thing. It's only to
Boost numbers. Boost numbers,
and
right.
to encourage conversations like this. Well, maybe not like this, but he wants to be talked about. This is a character. And unfortunately, the byproduct of this character is that he's an imbecile, and he unfortunately represents the culture poorly.
So therefore it is. Because everything I just stated, you just said he's, it's like when Chappelle show when they had Little John and he's talking all crazy. Then behind the scenes, he sounds like he's a Brown University grad. Right. You know what I'm saying? So between, So it's like, to me, hip hop has become that minstrel show that we used to joke about a few years ago. You know what I'm saying? Between, every trap beat sound the same. All these producers it's like cookie cutter. The artist is cookie cutter. There's no real skill set. You know what I'm saying?
Push one button, key on
it's like CB4. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, where are we right now as a culture?
Yeah.
And not only designer. Hold on, this is the thing. Not only designer. Like we said, Kodak Black. The dude, Black Gangster, when he had the Money Machine on a Breakfast Club, looking like a fucking like a bozo.
To be honest,
not for nothing. Even Troy Ave with this New Pac shit, because it's like, how dare you just have this? You take this man's legacy and you just make it like.
Try to snatch it.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, where are we right now?
Well, come on. Troy Ave is saying, not to get too far off topic, but
I understand the similarities.
He's making.
I understand that.
He's saying people are saying it to me. So I'm just probably one friend. His one homeboy was like, "It's like you."
I mean, you can't count yourself. You can't count yourself.
But remember, Tupac was he was making an impact on the culture. He was at a certain level and presence
when he got shot this first time.
Yeah, and we were far more interested in Tupac. That's the fact of it.
Repeat that. We were what?
We were far more interested.
When?
In Tupac.
Wait, at what point?
I have to say throughout his career, from I Get Around on out.
That's not true.
You cannot tell me that Tupac was not more relevant throughout his career than Troy Ave ever was.
No, he was. No.
But that's what I'm saying. That's why that's the humongous difference. Because a lot of black guys, a lot of black men.
I'm not saying he didn't, but he was not as relevant until Death Row. Until the beef shit. Pac, he had I Get Around was a hit. He had hits. He wasn't relevant. That's true. We didn't give a fuck about Tupac like that.
He didn't stand out.
Until he was dead, he was named, he was on Mount Rushmore. Like Bob Marley. When Bob Marley was alive, they didn't give a fuck about Bob Marley. When Tupac died, that's when we gave a fuck about him.
You're nobody until somebody kills you.
You're nobody until some... God damn it, Chris. It's the truth. Because I lie to you not. 95, 96, when folks would say, yo, who's the best rapper? I'm fucking pushing 40. It would be Big, Nas. Those two was always there. Before them, it would be Rakim, Kane, the typical old school 88 motherfuckers. You'll get Scarface.
But niggas don't really say Tupac that much now.
Listen. No, they do, because it's conditioned to. Back then, you would get Scarface and Slick Rick before you get Tupac.
Okay.
This is unbiasedly. I fuck with Pac. This is unbiasedly talking about this man.
So, but I'm with you on that. However, Troy Ave has not come close to being as relevant as Pac was with I Get Around.
Yeah, you're right, 100% right.
So that I think we need to understand, like, when you're making comparisons to Pac, just because you rap, it's silly. A lot of rappers have gotten shot.
I would say, on
that we never heard of.
Behalf, I think the reason why, because he probably feels like it's him against the world right now. So he might have tried to start that comparison somehow.
I'm sure he feels that way.
I'm sure because everybody's against him because of the whole situation that happened at the club.
No, you know what I mean? Not everybody's against him. like
there's a lot
he can feel that way.
That's what I'm saying. He might feel that way.
A lot of people in New York would even say, "Who's Troy Ave?" Keep it a buck.
Right.
A lot of people be like, "Troy Ave, who's that?" Yeah, like so.
And the thing is, I like Troy I think he's a cool dude. I don't. You know what it is? No, this is Troy Ave's problem. Troy Ave needs what we all needed at one point, and he's late on. And the thing is, he has this air about him that people don't like. He's cocky. And you can't be cocky and stupid. You know what I mean? That's his problem.
That's not a good combination.
It's a bad combination because you're out here in the streets, you know what I mean? And then another thing is when he talks, he says the wrong thing. Like, you would think he'll get humble, but he puts value, like in the interview, he puts value on bullshit.
Right.
Well, even the whole Nupac thing, I think is a prime example of that.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
putting value on.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, well, after everything you've gone through, you say, well, I got foreigns. I give my friends, nigga, money dude, money doesn't mean nothing. If you really love your family, give them your fucking time. Money, you could go to Fifth Ave and spend all the money you want on your family and friends. At the end of the day, it doesn't mean nothing. Time, give them Troy.
And give your fans good music.
Right.
But she had
all seven of them.
What she had.
He said all 7.
Hey, man.
Well, yo,
that was an ether.
I definitely appreciate you gentlemen coming in.
Real quick, yo, dog. That was ether right there, son.
Yeah.
That was.
I think I know
you
all
bodied
7
them
of
on
them.
that one, son.
I think I know all 7.
If you can actually
that was bad.
give out your social media accounts.
Yeah, Beats by Rockwell on Instagram.
That's my man Ron.
Yeah.
Chris, what's your social media?
Yeah, that's _real name Christopher _ at Instagram. It's complicated.
We'll post it in the description below. And my
Yo,
man,
at Mont Willin, MONT Willin.
And I go by the name Noize. I am _NOIZE. And we definitely thank you for participating in today's podcast. Make sure you stay tuned for more episodes. Make sure you definitely check us out on all social media and check us out on www.thesoundkillers.com. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, Soundkillers Radio.
One.
Peace.
Powered by Noize.